I didn't even know it was back until you told me.
Surprise. Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakdown Podcast YouTube channel. My name's Corey, and once again, to help me break down another season of The Masked Singer, it's Vic.
It's back, and so am I. What's going on?
Another season of Masked Singer is upon us, but before we get into talking about that, we do want to let you know we have a show we do every Tuesday. It's on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/MillerKing_51. The link will be in the description down below. It's every Tuesday at about 7 p.m. Eastern. So come by, hang out with us as we talk. Our shows, and we record the actual show. We do it live there, and we if you have any comments, you in the chat, put it in the chat, and we will respond during the episode. It's a fun thing we like to do. So currently, we are talking Cobra Kai, and back once again. This Tuesday is the Flash.
Yeah.
So come by, check us out. And also, while you're here, too, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell for notifications. And leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought on all the picks as well, too. All of that helps us out so much, and we appreciate it. So, Vic.
Yes, sir.
Let's break it down.
All right. We got a new season of The Masked Singer. I didn't even know it was back until you told me.
Surprise.
It just kind of jumped up on me, but it's been a heck of a week. So I'm not I literally had not watched any television, anything all week long. So when you told me, I was like, man, I got to catch up. And I still didn't get a chance to catch up until literally like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, right before recording. And what a way to nice job to wait till the last minute.
Yeah, well, Mister, I'm not gonna watch it until right before we record on Sunday morning.
I never said that. There's no proof of that. Yes, we do have another season of The Masked Singer upon us. I did know this a couple weeks ago. They had put out an episode. I think it was like right after the Super Bowl, the week after.
It was like a pre-season episode or something like that.
Yeah, it apparently was supposed to give a glimpse into this season. I didn't watch it because they weren't singing and there was going to be no voting off. Sure, there may have been clues, but I've been fooled by that before. You watch like the special episode, and they'll say that there's clues, but they give you exactly like one clue the entire episode.
Right.
And so it's like, why did I watch this?
And it has nothing to do with anything. It'll be something weird about a possible guest judge or something.
And all the performances are all stuff from previous episodes.
Right.
And so it's just like, it's pointless. So I didn't watch that. But I honestly, I remembered about the episode on like Friday, I think. And it had already aired like 2 days prior. So fortunately, since I'm not on social media, I didn't see anything at all. Going into this totally blind. However, there was something that was mildly spoiled a few months ago, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, where the person in the mask was unmasked.
Right.
Two of the judges didn't like it and stormed out. Now, I'm not going to say who it was. Okay? If you want to know, you can go out there and you can search it. But the thing of it is, they said that it happened in the first episode of that they recorded, which would have been this one, and that wasn't the case.
I didn't see that.
I was pretty sure it said the first episode, so I was like, okay, but it ended up not being the case. Again, I'm not going to say who it was in the event that it is a feature episode, so I'm just going to stay mum on that. I'm hoping, though, that they decided just to re-record that entire episode, and so nobody ever sees it anyway. And then we don't have the spoiled person voted off.
Yeah,
it'd be good for us.
I mean, I don't see that being a bad thing per se.
I mean, how hard would it be to get somebody to come in there and learn one song and jump right in there? I think they could do it very easily.
Yeah.
Hell, even let Nick Cannon do it again. I don't care.
Let Nick Cannon.
So we start this season off with Thingamabob, not to be confused with Thingamajig.
Right, completely different.
Yeah. Now, they are considerably taller. I like to
Well,
use
hold on,
Nick
hold on,
as a
hold on,
reference.
hold on. Let's before we do this, they did something that they've never done before at the beginning of this episode. They actually revealed all of the contestants for the
Oh,
entire
yes.
season at the
Okay.
beginning of the
Sure.
episode.
Yeah, yeah.
So this season's episode is the good, the bad, and the cuddly, playing off the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think they still could have done the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then like had the ugly be like all of the monstrous
Monsters.
like guys. Yeah, but they went with
Hmm.
cuddly, so okay. But the list for
And
the
the good
good,
could have been on the good could have been on the cuddly ones.
right? So for the good, we had the Prince, Firefly, McTerrier, Armadillo, and Ringmaster. So Ringmaster does not look like the good to me. Ringmaster should have been in the bad because Ringmaster looks creepy as hell.
And hell, Armadillo. Why does that? What makes that so good?
I have no idea. The bad was headed off by Hydra, which looked pretty cool. Queen Cobra,
Hell, Hydra.
Jack in the Box, Cyclops, and the Ram. Which again, don't quite know why Ram is the bad guy, but I'm assuming it's because he's supposed to look like the God of War. That's what I'm
He
guessing.
looked. He looked like a warrior.
He looks like the
But
God of
what-
War. Like that's what he looks like in.
But what makes that bad?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. And the cuddly, finally, Space Bunny, the lemur,
Yep.
baby
the Space
mammoth.
Bunny had. The Space Bunny had the probably bigger head than that baby did last season.
Yeah, most definitely. Miss Teddy Bear, and then Thingamabob. So yeah, but like Space Bunny just reminded me of the squirrel from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
That's
no,
what that.
no.
That's what that reminded me of.
There was another rabbit in another animated movie, which the one that Kevin Hart did the voice for.
Oh, Pets or something like that.
Secret Life of Pets.
Yeah.
That's the bunny it reminded me of.
When she was switching him in all of the outfits and stuff. Yeah, I do remember that right now. All right, so with that introduction, like they just kind of gave us an idea of who everybody was going to be rather than like bringing them out individually in their groups. But the other thing that they did, because they did them as like teams, they had a couple from each group in this first group. So it's not like group A, group B, group C like they did before. And they didn't pit them all against each other, like going all of the good, all the bad, and all of the cuddly. They just kind of mixed them all up. So we ended up.
And here's the thing too. If you look at it, there's only 5 people that perform.
Right.
There's 3 teams.
Right.
One team only had one person go up.
Correct. But
So,
in the next episode, they'll probably have only one person from one of the teams that had multiple people go up. It'll just rotate around. They'll still have the same amount of people each episode. Just one team each episode will only be represented by probably one person until they whittle them down at this point. So, with that said, like you said, we started out with Thingamabob. Not to be confused, like you said, with Thingamajig. They just they like these naming conventions for some of their stuff, which is a little weird. But
yeah, it's like, what do we call it? I don't know. How about Thingamabob? We haven't used that one yet.
We haven't used that one. And they had whatchamacallit, right? Yeah, they had the whatchamacallit, then the Thingamajig, and
which
now
I'm
the
surprised they didn't get sued for that one.
Yeah, whatchamacallit has been around before before that candy bar was trademarked to the name, I think.
Trademark though.
Still, it's a name. It's not a product at that point. But the clues for this one that I picked up was Hotel California, a tackle box and fishing net held by the Bulldog, who was played by Nick Cannon in the prior season. There was a eagle was displayed, and I'm not. That's all I caught. Did you catch anything extra for him? For that, and the fact that he's fucking huge, like that's a big dude, like he towers over Nick, and Nick's not exactly short.
Yeah, as far as the clue package, no, there wasn't really anything else that I got from that. Most of these, I think, most of the clue packages were very vague this season, or at least in this episode.
Oh, there was one that wasn't.
And the only real clue that I could pull from was his height. And that's one of the things that I like to do whenever Nick is up there on stage and standing next to him. It's like, I'm comparing the height difference.
Yeah.
Because I already know Nick is pretty tall.
Right.
So if a guy is coming out and standing next to him
and he's
towering above him, okay, that narrows the field down of who this could possibly be. That being said, I think this is my new Bull.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
Because
I'm
no.
That's Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh, okay. Well, either way.
I'm not even gonna say it.
I'm just blocking. I'm blocking your statement.
No, but in all seriousness,
I know what I would know what I was referencing, sir. Thank you very much.
I think this is a basketball player. Let's face it, because of its height, that narrows it down to that profession. I mean,
we said that with Chameleon too. It ended up not being a basketball player. So true, but I think there were some other clues that leaned it towards that, though. That's true.
I think there may have been.
I don't think it's a basketball player. I think it's a pro wrestler.
There was something that was said at one point that made me think Big Show. But I'm like, no. There's no way it's him.
This guy is not. His circumference is not big enough. Let's put it that way.
Well, see, and that's the thing too. You say wrestler, and the only real tall guys that I could think of that it could be are guys like Big Show, Braun Strowman, maybe.
Dude, you're giving a whole lot. These guys. You're giving a whole lot of height to Cannon.
He's well over 6 foot tall, though.
He's about 6'1", maybe. But this guy towered over him, yes. But so anyway, I believe I'm going to throw my hat into the wrestling ring, and I'm going to say the same name that I always give, and it's The Rock. Because he's big, he's tall, and he can sing. And I think it's going to be him, especially since he just had a song come out with Tech Nine. He just wants to get some extra advertising out there. I'm probably wrong, but that's what my first guess is.
You're way wrong. It didn't even sound like
Doesn't matter.
I don't have a guess.
I'm not locking it in, but I'm going to say The Rock until I'm proven differently.
I'm still going to say it's an NBA player.
Okay.
Moving on, it's the dog.
Mick Terrier. Not the dog.
Spoiler.
Mick Terrier.
We're not gonna say this one yet. We're gonna save it for last because for the obvious reason, the dog was voted off. So we're gonna hold off on that one. After the dog was Cyclops.
Yes.
Do you have any clues that you wrote down for Cyclops?
So, there was someone sleeping in the bed, as well as they were holding on to a pink teddy bear. There's a pink teddy bear with a cowboy hat on as well. In there. There was a compass that said south by southeast, S by SE. I'm not sure what that could reference. There's a turtle in a cowboy hat as well. They have a thing for the cowboy hat with him, so I'm thinking it's got to be somebody like a country western singer or something like that, maybe. Or it's got to be somebody who's famous for a cowboy hat because it was in there a bunch. What else was there? And then it said 22 June 2017. And I don't know, like, that's an exact date. Usually those exact dates give you, like, something real easy to pull on. I put it in, nothing. I've gotten, like, first guess right off the bat with dates. Nothing on that one. And because of that, like, none of these clues, like, even hedged anything for me in regards to like, the character. The only thing that I was thinking, I was like, pink cowboy hat. I was like, Lil Nas X. That was like the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, but this guy there's no way that's Lil Nas X. Actually, I can't say that's true because that suit was huge. And you can put a small person into a huge suit and still have it work. But I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of, and that's just because Lil Nas X wore a pink cowboy hat constantly while he was promoting, the Old Country Road thing. So I don't know. What's your thought?
I don't have a clue. this episode was tough.
Yeah.
For trying to guess anything, and these clues, like I said before, very vague. I couldn't figure out anything. If anything, I could go with Vince Neil, or I don't know, somebody that wore
Vince Neil. Why is I know the name, but I can't think of who.
I'm just going off the cowboy hat.
Vince Neil is a rocker, right?
Right.
From what group?
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue. Okay, gotcha. I knew that, I knew the name, and I know the band, but I couldn't think of what it was, off the top of my head. I just knew it wasn't Guns N' Roses.
No, wrong kind of hat.
Right.
He wears a stovetop hat. Yeah, like I said, I've got nothing.
Yeah. So we'll move on.
Moving on.
This is an interesting episode also because we'll talk about it later, but the Terrier had a wardrobe malfunction. And the next person up was the Firefly. There were a bunch of clues in this one, but I caught two that led me directly to who this person actually is, and I'm actually going to lock this one in. And I can give you 3 solid reasons why it's a good pick and why I'm going to lock it in right away. And as always, I have at least one lock in on the first episode, and this is going to be mine.
Okay, let's hear it.
So Firefly had in her package that she had a connection to Tyler Perry. Okay. Mm-hmm. The Statue of Liberty, which brings in New York City in some way, shape, or form. And then there was a bit about the Apollo. And then there was a mention of being a comedian of some sorts. But this is not the main ones. The Tyler Perry one and the fade. If you notice, there was a mention of the word fade in the clue. And that's where I kicked at. So this person did a video for Kanye West. And the name of that video, or that song, is called Fade. And Tiana Taylor did that video for him. On top of that, which I think was where this came from, she created a clothing line called Fade to Fit, which is her clothing line. So that fits there as well. But the Tyler Perry thing also comes in because she's in Tyler Perry movies. She sings like crazy, and she sings crazy good. She's got videos all over YouTube about her singing different music. So I know she can sing, so that fits. She's from New York City, so it fits with the Statue of Liberty. So all of those things, I'm pointing at Tiana Taylor.
Never heard of her.
Boom. What do you mean never heard of her? Never heard of her?
No.
Yeah, you're not watching the right things. Anyway,
no.
I'll
be honest. I don't.
I'll send you a little
Tyler Perry movie, so it's probably why.
Well, see, I've been telling you for years you need to watch Tyler Perry movies. Years.
No, I watched one. I watched one.
Which one?
I knew better.
Which one?
That first Boo one.
Oh my God, that's the one you chose to watch. There's so many other ones to watch, and that's the one. Oh,
I had to watch it for the show.
That's true.
Okay, so as far as Firefly goes, I got to say this. You had mentioned the dog had a mishap on stage. Now, because of all of that playing out the way it did,
mm-hmm.
in this episode, Firefly is singing, and then all of a sudden she stops, and it's all dramatic, and they're running to check it. I'm like, after what we just saw with that, and your dramatization of what happened with the dog head, do you really think I'm going to believe that anything dramatic happened here?
I think it did. I think it was realistic. I think it did. And I think it was something really, really fucking stupid. So this is what I think happened, because there's a difference in the way she was singing when she first came on stage to the way she was singing when she came back on stage. I think something really happened, but it's just because of the way it was all presented with the dog, there was like, I had a negative feeling to what I'm seeing when something truly did happen. Yeah, I think what ended up happening, and this, obviously we don't know, but this is what I feel like may have happened, and they won't tell us until she probably gets voted off. But I do actually think she might make it towards the end. But what I think has happened, because she started belting, like she was getting into it at the beginning of it, and I have a feeling that a piece of the costume went down her throat. because like she was inhaling, like she was getting ready to belt out a lyric, and then she just kind of went, and then she started bending over, and they're like, "Oh my god, she's choking." I think she like swallowed a sequence or something. Like I think she inhaled a piece of her costume, and like it started to choke her, and that's why she lost it. Because when she goes out, when she comes back out and she starts singing again, she did not even try to sing as strongly is not a word, but as enthusiastically, as powerfully as she was going to when she first started singing, and then she started choking. So that's why I think like she swallowed, like she inhaled like a piece of her costume, and like probably started to choke her, and that's why they took her off. But she comes back, she still sings. She did a great job. Like I said, Tiana Taylor, she's Firefly. Moving on. The last one on the list.
The last one is the Ram,
who they brought on to perform so that they could figure out what was going on with Firefly. They bring out,
and there was a lot of football references.
Oh, good lord! Like a quarter in the back of the pigs of the piggy bank. So yeah, quarterback pigskin. Come on, that's direct football reference right there.
Now, considering they are in Los Angeles,
yes.
Considering this is a literal Ram. Considering the Rams just won the Super Bowl, this is already where my head is. I'm headed down this path. Now, with the quarterback thing, I thought Sam Bradford. Okay,
you do know some of this was filmed before the Super Bowl, right? This would have been filmed before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going. Didn't mean to break your thought. Didn't mean to break your concentration.
Yeah. Well, I looked at it and looking at his stature, I can't see this being Sam Bradford. Okay. However, there is a wide receiver that's with the Rams that it could be. And if my recollection is correct, in his rookie year, he had long hair. And then when he came out to the Rams, he cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the package, there was somebody getting a haircut. And so it's my belief that this is Cooper Kupp.
But he was doing the haircut.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is, you know what? Don't question me. This is the only one I had a guess for this entire episode.
I apologize.
Yes. I'm going with Cooper Kupp.
Okay. So yeah, with that, they that was the end of the actual performances. They brought Firefly back out. She ended up performing.
We gotta go over. Don't forget Dog.
I know, but once he was done, they did their guests as Corey did, and then at the end of that, they brought Firefly out and she completed her song.
Oh,
and then once she had completed her song, then they went into the first what do they call it? Reveal. And the first reveal was Mick Terrier. I know that Mick Terrier himself. The clues were like terry towels, an axe with a star, a face full of
cake.
Face full of cake. Yep, a gold record. I'm not sure where that would come from, unless it was like a Guinness Book of World Record type of situation, because that would be like a gold record.
Or he did a gold record cake for a celebrity.
There's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, teaching old dog new tricks. Old towel or dog new tricks is what I put. And then Best in Show. I guess Best in Show would be like it was a TV show that was like one of the top TV shows for a while with him in it, so that would make sense too. But my guess for this, because it was the whole like really badly done like the really badly done Scottish accent. I was like, well, maybe they're faking the accent and they're pushing it to make it seem as fake as possible. And I was like, but they always have some sort of an off-brand YouTuber or some kind of an influencer on there. And I was like, this has got to be the first ones. That's usually one of the first ones off the shot. And I think they try to make whoever the first one out is as somebody who's not going to be like, who no one would have thought would have been in it. So my first guess was Jacksepticeye, because I think he is either British or Scottish. And I've heard him do like bad accents. So I was like, that wouldn't fit with the whole idea of having a YouTuber in there. And he was the first one that came to mind with that. But I ended up being completely wrong. So
yeah, going into this, they're like, I think it's Mike Myers. I'm like, really?
No, he did a much better version of that accent.
And then somebody else, what's her name? Nicole thought it was Ewan McGregor.
Oh, I was like, where did you get Ewan McGregor
I'm like,
from?
you fell for the bad accent.
Yeah. You had to know it was like a purposeful bad accent. Like, it doesn't even make sense that she would take that thought.
And Robin said it was Flea. I'm like, okay, dude, you have never heard apparently the Red Hot Chili Peppers album One Hot Minute, because there's a song on there that Flea sings badly.
You thought this guy sang Flea. Well?
He sang better than Flea did.
Maybe.
On that song. And that was done in a studio. So I knew it wasn't Flea. And I had no other guess. That was the only thing. I just knew it wasn't Flea. And I was right. It was not Flea.
But who was it?
So does that give me a point?
No, it does not. You don't get a point for not being right about it being not who it was. That doesn't make sense.
I knew it wasn't that person.
That is not the way this works, sir.
I was right though. It turned out to be Cake Boss. If you ever saw the show, I believe it was on TLC. Yeah. I'm not even sure. I doubt it's even still on anymore.
Yeah, it's actually. I think it is actually still like syndicated on there. The reruns of it.
Is it?
Yeah, still run. But yeah, Duff Goldman is his name, and they unmask him, and I was like, who? And I was like, oh, Cake Boss. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Probably the last person you would have thought would have been.
Absolutely, like it never would have come across my mind. But now thinking about like the whole cake thing, I was like, oh, they just had a cake right there. Like it wasn't a red herring. It wasn't like the red herring was the stupid towel situation. Like the guesses were solid, but the towels were the thing that were throwing it off, because I think you're correct in everything that they showed were the things that he made into cakes that like were really popular. That's what I think was like the main thing. So I don't know.
All right, that is going to end this episode. We do want to thank you for watching, and please feel free to let us know down below in the comments what you thought of the episode and who some of your predictions are. So on behalf of Vic, wherever
you're at, I'm right next to you.
Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
See ya.